Hello everybody, this is Garrett. I just kind of want to show you something kind of cool. I'm standing on the stage. If you look behind me, you can see this is a very old building. This is actually on the ranch here. This was a schoolhouse built in 1875. Originally it was a log structure, and then in the 1890s they tore the log structure down and on the same schoolhouse, and it is a big dude. It actually has a huge upstairs, but I can't get up there because the way's blocked in there now. I mean, it's full of trash and I'm not going to dig through it because of the snakes, but this thing is huge. And this was the schoolhouse for the area from like I said, basically 1893 or 4 when they finally built it. And it was actually pretty well maintained because although the windows are uncovered now, you look out there, all you see is prairie. I mean, it's way out there to the highway. Big country out there. I love this place. And like I said, they rebuilt it in the 1890s. It was a little schoolhouse. As you can see, it's kind of that era where they got this shiplap going about a third of the way up the wall. In there's a stairway, and there's a place where they used to hang their coats. And the funny thing is, it's only got one real leak right there at the chimney. And that is because in the 1920s, they stuccoed it, and then they put a metal roof on it. And I'm not sure when it happened, because actually we stored hay in here for a long time here on the ranch. You can still see some hay in there. And they actually put a metal roof on it probably in the 60s or 70s. And it really has helped the building hold up. The problem was the chimney's coming down, and now you can see there's a leak up there by where a bad leak by where the chimney was. But floors and everything are still solid. And the cool thing is, I believe the last students left this school in the late 1940s. And if you look around, you can see zero electricity ever. So outside of these tinned over windows, this is kind of just the natural light you would have got back then. And kind of cool. Like I said, the other thing is there's a lot of trees growing up around the outside of the place. And just kind of a cool old schoolhouse I thought you guys might want to look at. To be quite honest, I'm debating whether or not I ought to just buy this part of the property and make myself a house in this. It'd be a nice little 2-story cabin. Because the bones of the building outside of right there by where it's leaking by that chimney, the bones of the building are still good. And so, you know, pretty cool. No water out here. They didn't have water. They didn't even hardly have a well. Kind of interesting what they did have, though. I'll take you back here and show you. They did have, and it's all grown up in trees right now. Like I said, there's the little stage in there. They took the they took the blackboard out of there in the 1980s, I believe. It was kind of a cool piece. Somebody's got it somewhere in their house, family member, but they installed these gutters. And I don't know when exactly this happened, but that was the drinking water source down to this cistern, and they had a pump on the cistern, and that was just basically where your water came from back then, and they drank it. Like I said, big country out here, all grown up in weeds right now, but I thought you guys might like seeing what was originally an 1800s schoolhouse that has been updated a few times, thank goodness. That's the only thing that saved it in the 20th century. Like I said, I knew one guy that went to school here, and he left out of here as a little kid in the 1940s. And like I said, no electricity, no nothing ever. Wood heat, wood fire. Luckily, like I said, put a metal roof on it. I don't know. It's always been kind of my dream to move out to a little place, maybe this little place right here, and make a little cabin, you know. It's 18 by 32, but it's tall enough to definitely have 2 stories. It's already got a second story for storage up there. So, I don't know. Just thought you guys would find this interesting. It's got that, and it's got a giant cellar. This cellar was big enough to hold 30 kids during a tornado. Obviously the cellar came later with all the concrete. I don't know when all that occurred. There's very little documentation on the place other than when they stuccoed it and rebuilt it. But yeah, big cellar down there. I'm not going down there right now because it's full of rattlesnakes last I checked. Anyway, just thought you guys might find that interesting. Kind of just walking around the old schoolhouse out here. Anyway, talk to you later.